Greetings to everyone. I am Sharma Vedula. Currently, I am at Patan Durbar Square, situated in Lalitpur town, which is 6.5 kilometers away from Kathmandu city center. Entrance fee for the monument is 250 Nepali rupees for India and SAARC nationals. Other foreigners, it is 1000 Nepali rupees. This video exclusively shot on Patan Durbar Square, which is one of the 3 Durbar squares in the Kathmandu Valley, all of which are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. One of its attractions is the medieval royal palace where the Malla kings of Lalitpur resided. Let's step into the Patan Durbar Square by listening the brief description and history of Durbar Square. Although the Malla kings of Lalitpur are credited with the establishment of the royal square, it is known that the site is an ancient crossroad. The Pradhans who settled around the site before the Mallas have connections with the Durbar Square. Now we are entering into the Patan Durbar Museum, which was once royal palace of Malla kings. This palace has 3 courtyards: Mul Chowk, Sundar Chok and Keshanarayan Chowk. Presently you are watching Mul Chowk. Mul Chowk is the central courtyard. It is the most famous and largest courtyard among the 3 main chowks. Vidya temple is located at its center and Taleju temples stand around the courtyard. The doorway to the shrine of Taleju on the southern side of the courtyard is confined by the statues of the river goddesses Ganga on a tortoise and Jamuna on a carved makara. The Malla kings made important changes to the square. Most of the current architecture is from the 1600s, constructed during the reign of King Siddhi Narasimha Malla and his son Srinivasa Sukriti. Some of the notable Malla kings who improved the square include Purandara Simha, Narasimha Malla and Yoga Narendra Malla. This Durbar Square is a marvel of naval architecture. You can see beautiful, fascinating and mind-blowing craftsmanship all around the building. See Lord Ganesha standing with 10 hands. Architecture gallery was constructed in the first floor of this building that houses centuries old idols and sculptures. No camera and photography is allowed inside the art gallery, hence I could not shoot inside. The galleries are worth watching. From the windows of the gallery, you can have the magnificent views of the Durbar Square. The Patan Royal Museum has a gorgeous garden called as Badal Garden. The garden has a traditional Nepali layout with elements of formality and naturalistic design. Inside the garden, you will see a historic pond that was used to do the laundry, to wash people, the courtiers, etc. The garden itself and the structures and the statues in the garden have been restored to preserve the historic look and function. Inside this garden, you will find a large variety of plants that are native to Nepal and beautiful traditional sculptures and little rooms and seating areas. Even today, it is still used for gatherings and ceremonies and to host cultural events and exhibitions. Now we are standing in Sundar Chok, another fascinating courtyard in the royal palace of Patan, which was a private space for the royal family. The centerpiece of the courtyard is a beautifully carved sunken water tank known as Tushahiti. You can find mind-blowing stone carvings around the Tushahiti. You can find depictions of various gods and scenes from Hindu mythology. Surrounding the courtyard, the elaborately carved windows and door frames further enhance the area's aesthetic appeal. Historically used for very private royal ceremonies and rituals, Sundari Chowk is now one of the most important and well-known areas within the Patan Museum. Watch these amazingly carved windows. You can find no two windows are in similar architecture or similarly carved. Each window is unique of its own.
ఒక్కొక్కటికి ఒక్కో డిజైన్లో ఉంది యాక్చువల్గా
అంతే
మొత్తం.
అన్న, ఒక్కొక్కటికి ఒక్కొక్క డిజైన్, అది ఇది మళ్ళీ రెండు ఒకలా.
Now you are watching Hari Shankar Temple, which was constructed in 1704 by Queen Lalitpur Sundari, King Yoga Narendra Malla's column. And these temples are known as Char Narayan Temple, and they are the oldest temple in Patan Durbar Square, built in 1566, and it is dedicated to Lord Vishnu. On the struts of Char Narayan Temple, you can find very detailed wooden carvings featuring various avatars of Lord Vishnu as well as scenes from Hindu mythology. Now we are standing in Keshav Narayan Chowk, which is inside the Patan Museum itself. Keshav Narayan Temple is seen located at the center of this chowk. Patan Durbar is constructed with 136 courtyards and 55 major temples. The main temples are aligned opposite the western face of the palace. The entrance of the temples faces east towards the palace. There is also a bell situated in the alignment beside the main temples. This Teleju bell is installed during the regime of King Vishnu in the early 18th century. The bell was rung at different times of the day to announce royal decrees or emergencies. Currently, the bell is used during various religious ceremonies and festivals, and its sound can be heard quite loudly throughout the Patan. Now you are watching Bhimsen Temple, which was constructed in the early 17th century and is dedicated to Bhimsen, a heroic deity known for his strength in the Hindu epic the Mahabharata. The Bhimsen Temple features classic three-tiered pagoda-style architecture, which is very typical of Nepali temples. It was primarily built using beautifully and finely carved wood and brick, traditional construction techniques in the Kathmandu Valley. When you look closer at the artwork on the temple, you can see beautifully intricate carvings that represent Bhimsen and depict various scenes from the Mahabharata. Camera is not allowed beyond this point and photography is prohibited. Since the camera and videography is prohibited inside the temple, I will narrate you what I have seen inside the temple. If you see the first floor, there is a huge idol of Bhimsen, and in the second floor, the idols of Bhimsen killing Dushasana is depicted. Staircase from first floor leading to the second floor is too narrow and too steep. So please keep in mind while entering into the temple.